Welcome to the Legend of Zelda Ocarina time on Ship of Harkinian. This is an application that lets you run the game at 60 frames per second. It's an enhanced version of the game that's really good. And today I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with it. If you want to set this up for yourself, I will make sure to leave a link to the website on where you can start your stuff. Okay, so first thing you're gonna notice is that I spawned out here, which you might be wondering, this is not what you usually save, which is true. Which is one of the things you can do in the game, which is save wherever you want. It does not work in dungeons. You could also set Bunny Hood to be faster, just like it was in Majora's Mask, which is really cool. But I'm gonna go to Kakariko Village just to show you some of the things you can do. And yeah, tunic colors, that's also something else you can do. Okay, so some of the things you can do, let's go over some basic things you can do. So here you can mess with audio, controller mapping, as you can see here. You can use your own controllers, linked with Bluetooth, like I'm using this controller. You can also set up extra ports, which I don't know what that does, but it's something you can do. Rumble force, how strong rumble is when you hit something or use an item. Graphics, you can change to the graphics. Frame rate, as I mentioned before, you can go up to 60 FPS, or if you have a better computer, you can actually go higher. I have it set to 35 just because it's easier, doesn't overload my computer. And then you got language, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then text-to-speech. And here's where some of the good stuff comes in. You got enhancements, time savers, as I mentioned before. You can have remember save location, which will put you in the spot you were last in, but it does not work in dungeons because that already happens. Text to speed, you can make it faster, so that way you're not waiting around. Skip text, so basically this will allow you to skip text by just holding down B. The King Zora speed, so if you're tired of waiting for him to slowly move, you can make it even faster, and you won't have to wait as long. Big Goron forage time is how long it takes for the big Goron sword to forage. So if you set it to 0, you can just show him the coin check instantly, and you'll get the sword. Vine / ladder climb speed. It's basically how fast you climb a ladder or vines. Here I'll show an example of what that looks like. So I have it set to +3. Usually you're not that fast, but when you set it this high, you'll go pretty fast on the ladder. It's pretty helpful if you need to get a pinch real quick. And then, you also got skip pickup messages, no forced navi, so that way he's not annoying you. No Skulltooth freeze, so that prevents it from freezing when you kill something. Ask to equip new items, so like when you get something, you can equip it right away. It will give you a message. Skip Scarecrow song, so you can basically skip singing the Scarecrow song. It'll just show immediately when you play your Ocarina. Skip Magic Arrow animation. What that will do is just basically skip the animation it does before the Magic Arrow is equipped. Epic Market at night. The bridge will be open at night. Faster Furrows Wind greatly decreases cast time when you spawn it. Nighttime Skulltulas, always during the time, and then Dampe, always at time. Always there all the time, so, and then Time Travel with Song of Time, you can see right there. I've never really used that, so that's not anything I plan on doing. And then you have your cheats, infinite money, ammo, magic, mirrors, love, Epona boost, no quip, which means you can just go through things, climb everything, hookshot everything, Here, I can actually show that off in a second. And yes, one more thing is that hookshot will work as child. It is fixed in this game. It does look a little weird, but it is functional and actually works. And also the glitch I did was called quip swapping. This is something you can do in the actual game. It's really, really useful. And then some other enhancements I guess I can show are items, which I can show, for example, with bombs. Bombs can have static explosion, basically meaning, like in Majora's Mask, the explosion radius is bigger, and you can actually hover a lot easier, as I can show here in a second. First thing you need to do is get infinite sword glitch. Okay, and then with the static bomb explosion, bomb hovering and bomb shoe hovering is actually really a lot easier. See, like I could hold all the way back and then I'm just floating in air. Now for bomb shoes, it's still kind of hard to do bomb shoes, so I won't show that off, but it just shows you how much easier it is to hover. Yeah, so that's really cool. I really like that addition to the game. Then you got difficulty options, which can make your experience a lot better or spice it up a bit. Always when Goron Pop, basically when you throw a bomb, you'll get guaranteed happy face is what I'm gonna call it. And then reduce clutter. As you can see, I've muted the low HP alarm. That annoying beeping no longer can be heard, so that's always a good thing. Reduced clutter is very useful. And then this is something that applies to the magic arrows, blue fire arrows. So basically what this will do when you're adult is, if you have that red ice, you can use these arrows and it will melt it instead of needing a bottle. Sunlight arrows, it allows you to activate switches with the light arrows just like you would with Near Shield, which is really cool. Some extra modes, mirrored worlds, so you can make it just like a Master Quest. Enemy randomizer, which is something that applies to the randomizer, which I will go over more later. Back to cheats, so then you got Super Tunic, basically gives you every effect that you would have as adult wearing the other tunic, so you would have breathing underwater and then fire resistance at the same time. Easy ISG, basically this just gives you the glitch automatically and you won't lose it. I'll go over this one in a minute. Easy frame advancing allows you to pull off some things easier, and then input buffering is easier. Unrestricted items, so basically what this does, it allows you to use items in any room you want. So for instance, I could show here, like for Rosewind, you can't usually use it here, but with this thing on, you can use it just about anywhere. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. Let's go back to the forest, shall we? Okay, just showing off what it does. It's really cool. You can just set it and then acts just as normal when you have this cheat on. Pretty much everything does. Okay, so then freeze time. What this does is pretty obvious. Freezes time of day, won't turn nighttime, and then you got drops don't despawn. Basically, anything that's dropped is not gonna be despawning for enemies and all that. And then you got Fireproof Deku Shield, which I can show here. Debug menu, here, I'm gonna go somewhere where I can show you this. Where is it? Where is the Dongo Cavern? I gotta show you. Okay. So Fireproof Deku Shield, it's pretty obvious what this does, but I just want to show you that it really does. It's just works. I need to find somewhere. Alright, let me get this menu out of here real quick. I need to find a room. I'm gonna find a room with some fire keys. Just to show that this is real and it's not just something weird. Okay, let me skip over this real quick. Moon jump, I forgot to tell about that. Gives you the ability to just, skip over large areas if you need to get somewhere real quick, like I'm about to show. Also, this does run on a debug ROM, so which is why I was able to load the debug menu. See, usually your shield would just burn here, but it doesn't. Okay, and then debug menu, you can set a child or adult. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go back to the forest. Okay, and then, that's really cool. Time sync, what this does, it will sync your local time with the game. If you want to do that, no redead Gipto freeze, so you won't get frozen every time you redead screen, get those. Beta quest, I don't know what that really does. And then you got change age, which will actually, this will change your age. Huh, that's weird. I have Lens of Truth on the B button, that's cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then, let me show you what timeless equipment does. So basically, this allows you to use any item in the game despite age. So for instance, I could use the Master Sword and the Mirror Shield as child. There is no texture for child because you're not expected to use this. Master Sword, it's over Kakiri Sword, just slightly bigger with the hitboxes and all that. And then you got Big Goron Sword, which looks kind of weird because it's just the Master Sword, but he's just holding it upside down. It works the same, no different. And the way, this kind of just looks cool, the way it looks like he's holding a knife. I just kind of like that. Okay, this is really cool, yeah, so majority of items as child will work. Megaton Hammer works prior. I showed that hookshot works perfectly okay. I will show a few things. Why don't I show a few things that work as adult with the B button. Okay, so some things that do work. Deku stick on B button works perfectly fine. It will not crash the game. Okay, also, here, let me just turn on timeless equipment. Either way, if I don't quick swap them or not, it's not gonna be much different. It will still act the same. So, Deku sticks work normally, no issues there. This will not crash the game, so you can finally use them as adult, which is really fun. Okay, that's... What else we got? Okay, so... Let me just hook a Mirror Shield. And then, developer tools. This one's actually really cool. So I use debug mode, which you saw earlier, and then Skulltula debug, I don't really know. Fast file select will instantly select file once you start the game. Status just shows you how it's going. And then you got console, I guess, those console input commands. And then you got the save editor, which is really cool. Which is something I really want to show off. Okay, so as you can see, I have this is what it looks like. So then right now, as you may notice, over this is usually the claim check. I turned that into a bottle. I could show you a glitch that does that in a second here. I just need to get back to the village real quick. So let me just warp there. This is, you can do this in vanilla. So it's not exclusive, this is something you can always do. Okay, so the way this glitch is going to work, the way I'm about to show you that this glitch works is, it's not too complicated, it's actually pretty easy, so you basically just need to grab it and catch anything. It could be fairy, blue fire, bugs, fish, fish and bugs are going to be the easiest ones, so... Here, okay, so what you're gonna do, within that part of the animation, you're going to want to switch the item you want to a bottle. So, for instance, coin check. And now, I've turned my coin check into a bottle. This works for almost every item in the game, minus equip swapping. If you equip swap, it's going to be the item, it's going to be this, anything you equip swapped, instead of the item that's on the C button, or no, other way around. Instead of the C button, it's going to be that way. I don't know, I'm muffling my words, I'm sorry. It's pretty cool, that's a cool glitch. Also, I could show you another glitch I know. Okay, so Ocarina items, I know that glitch. Infinite sword glitch, bomb hovering. As I also showed, equip swapping is another glitch I know. These are all things you can do in the original game. Okay, and then now to show some save editor. Save editor is really cool because it allows you to actually mess around with some things. So for instance, I could give myself the maximum amount of bombs. You could set over the limit, but that won't make a difference. That's just something you do. Flags. It's all cool. We'll come back to all this stuff in just a minute. I want to there's something I forgot in here. Is, you may have noticed that my tunic color was yellow. That's because in cosmetics, you can change the way everything looks. So, Kokiri tunic, I have yellow. Goron tunic, purple. And then you got Zora tunic, black. Fun fact, I based these off Spyro characters because I like it. Anyway, you could also change the color of lots of things like mirror shield. I can make it rainbow. Rainbow? Yeah, I press random. Basically, random will just pick a random color for you, and pretty much it. This doesn't only affect you as the player. This can also affect other things such as NPCs, fire effects, and pretty cool other stuff. Trail duration. So NPCs, you got all these different colors. You can even change the color of what you see, like the Kokiri, the kids, Iron Knuckles, the Gerudo, and then Golden Skulltula's. You can change the HUD. You can change all these. And then something else about HUD I forgot to mention earlier is that you can change stuff like gameplay, the controls and all that, enhanced controls. It's a little bit of it's kind of hard to set up right now, but you can set D-pad. You can set D-pad, and then you can also set 3D camera. And I don't really know how to set this up, so if you do plan on getting this, you might need to search up a video on how to do that. But like, it's really cool. Okay, so now back to the save editor. You got equipment. You could check and uncheck other items if you wanted to. Like, for instance, I could uncheck Master Sword, shields, tunics. Pretty easy. And then scales, all the different types of upgrades, quiver, and then you got wallets. So you can go with the Giant's wallet, Adult wallet, and Giant. I just said Giant twice, didn't I? Okay, and then you got the Deku Stick upgrades. Those don't have icons, so these are just different things. And then quest status. You can change medallions, like unchecked medallions, the spiritual stones, songs. Gold Skulltula account. I have all 100s, but if I wanted to change it, I could just do that. POH, piece of heart count, so that's what it does, nothing else. And then the dungeon items, and the reason you don't see a number of keys right next in the first 3 dungeons is because it's set to a value less than 1. So that's kind of why you don't see it. And then you got these. This has a value of 0 because I've used all the keys, but if it's a value less than 1, then it's not going to show keys. And speaking of values, as you may probably don't know, is that each item in the game has certain values associated with them. So, for instance, C left, that's value 14, boomerang 14, and you got all these different values. So each item in the game, each sprite here has a value associated with their thing. Same with the bottles. Bottles have their own values. It's not all one for each item. And then so do the side quest, the mask, and then odd mushroom, all that. So that's pretty cool. There are some other values in the game that you can access, but will crash the game. Like, okay, this will not crash the game, but you can have, you can actually set the swords to C. The only thing is you will not be able to charge up your spin attack. And then you could also, I could also get a Deku stick on the B button. I have Lens of Truth. This will work the same way as normal Deku sticks, although you do not get spin attacks despite this. And then you can set fishing pole. This does not give you the dim B button though. That has been unfortunately patched. Here's a C value I think I found that works. I think it was 93. Yeah. This C value lets you carry your sword without a shield. But it does not work to swing sword. It will not. See, here are all the different values. Some of these values, do not use them, because they will crash the game, so do not do that. And then you got invincibility timer. These are just all what the game runs. X, Y axis. Pretty self-explanatory, but this stuff is really cool. You mess around with tunics. Shields won't really do anything. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, and now that I've gone over pretty much all the stuff in here, there's one more thing I could I'm gonna showcase, and that is the randomizer. This has a built-in randomizer in the game, so you can just basically just start playing. It's really fun. Like this, you see right here, it says Art AND. That's a randomizer. I have completed this, so I am going to show you how you set this up. So randomizer, you go into randomizer settings. You can set all these. They're really simple. Closed or open. I prefer open. Starting age, you can have set to whatever you want. Gerudo Fortress Carpenters, you can keep them captured or not. And then Rainbow Bridge requirements, vanilla, always open. I have it set the medallions, set it to 2. Basically what this means is I will only need 2 medallions for the gate to open. Ganon's Trials, so once you're inside, then it will give you a random number of trials that you need to do, or you could set it to set number, like all of them or only a few of them. Really cool. And then you got shuffled dungeon entrances, which is really cool. So basically what this means is any dungeon you're going into, it's not going to be the original. It's going to be different. Let's say I go into Forest Temple, then it'd be like Fire Temple, something like that. Shuffle boss entrances, same thing, like the boss entrance door, instead of being the Phantom Ganon, it's going to be Falagia, something like that. Shuffle overworld entrances, and what this does is shuffles every entrance. So like, get out of Kokiri Forest, you're not going to end up there. You could end up in the market, etc. Shuffle. And then you got shuffle grotto entrances. Basically what this does is shuffle the grottos, shuffle owl drops, shuffle warp songs. So what this will do is, instead of taking you to your original location, takes you to somewhere else. Decouple entrances, what this will do is it will put you in a spot that you did not come back from. Mixed entry pools, I don't know how to explain it. You can see it right there. You can look over it for like a second. Okay, and then items. You can shuffle the songs to be anywhere or original location. Token sanity, basically what this will does is it will shuffle where tokens are, so if you kill Gold Skulltula, it can actually be one of the items you need. Shop sanity will basically be random items in the shop. A scrub shuffle, it's affordable, all that. The business scrubs that try to sell you stuff, those will be randomized as well. Shuffled cows, same thing, sing the song, opponent's song, and then you get something random. And then magic beans, what that does is the seller will give you something, a one-time deal, and then you get something. Shuffle merchants, they're on with no hints. You can basically turn that off, like it won't tell you if it's a fake or not. shuffle frog songs. So basically what that means is it will shuffle the items you get from singing the frogs. The adult trade, that's also shuffled for a big Goron sword, and then 100 gold Skulltulas. Pretty self-explanatory there too. And then shuffle dungeon rewards, basically this, the medallions and the spiritual stones, you could shuffle those to be in different locations instead of at every original location. Like example, end of dungeons. Basically what that means is once I go to the end of the dungeon, I'll get a different medallion or spiritual stone instead of the vanilla. Map compasses, those are basically like, you can scramble those, the maps and compasses. Small keys, pretty self-explanatory, same thing. Key rings, what this is, key rings give you like pretty much all the keys to the dungeon associated with. And then Gerudo Fortress keys, basically where the carpenters are being held. Boss keys, anywhere, and you can also put Ganon's boss key anywhere else you want to. And then time savers, Cuckos of Return, you don't need to do all of them. Big Poe, you don't need to do all of those either. You can skip Child's Zelda, you can skip the opponent race, Tower Escape towards the end of the game. The mask quest, basically letting you borrow any mask you want without needing to do that. And you can skip Scarecrow Strong, which I had mentioned earlier. You don't need to play Scarecrow Strong to summon them, just pull out the Ocarina and you're good. Item pool, basically what this will do is shuffle the items in the game and put them somewhere else. Ice traps, this is the amount of ice traps you want, so you can turn them off, have regular amount, extra, mayhem, or onslaught, which is very chaotic. So then gossip stones, what these will do is they will give you hints on where some items are, and you can set clarity to be clear. You don't need massive truth, balance, and then you can have the House of Skulltulas, like basically you get 10, you get an item, 20s, another item, so on and so forth. And then these additional features, so full wallet, basically when you're spawning you will have a full wallet. Bomb shoes and logic, you'll be able to pick up bomb shoes from like cutting grass and all that. Blue fire arrows, sunlight arrows, I have mentioned that before. And then locations, so you can include or exclude the items that you want affected, so that's pretty cool. And then tricks, here's logic. Basically this is how the randomizer will run. You can have glitchless logic or no logic at all. It's really depends on how you want to play it. And then these are all the tricks you need to do. And then you got starting inventory. You can start with the Kakiri sword, Deku shield, Ocarina, consumables. You could start with songs if you really wanted to, and yeah, that's about it. So that's how you run the randomizer. It's not that hard, but it is really fun. So let me just load up a new seed. Now it's gonna generate the seed real quick. Just need to give it some time. And then this tells you what seed you're doing. So yeah, now, so you have choices. You can play the original game, boss rush, randomizer, which I didn't even know boss rush was a thing, I'm gonna be completely honest. Just gonna show off a little bit of what this does. So this is random spawn location, pretty self-explanatory. The hints, so here's what the hints are for spiritual spawns. For example, huge rupee found in Zora's River, okay. Zora's River, Way of the Hero, so that means it's something big, something you need to beat the game. And then Ice Trap, basically telling you to avoid that. Another Ice Trap. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And then there are a few other functions that I didn't go over, which I will tell you. So Item Tracker, this you can use for randomizer, it just tracks your progress. What I didn't show is that there are a few other options. With the side quests, you can change what item you want currently, and then with the mask side quests, I have an option that allows you to switch the mask you want. You can also set to be working for adult. It's pretty cool though. This randomizer stuff is really cool, and I really recommend downloading this. Ship of Harkinian. I will make sure I leave a link down below or a link to the website so you can get started on downloading. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will consider this. I highly recommend it, and I will see you next time.